Let's go over all the games happened on Sunday night. There were 6 games. The first game is the Brooklyn Nets losing to the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets got the win. Guess who played really well? Miles Bridges. He's the 5th ranked player so far. Only played 3 games, obviously averaging 25 points. I thought, I didn't think he would take, this big of a step forward. It's only been 3 games. I think he could realistically be a top 50 or 60 player. I just don't buy the 2.7 steals. Everything else, 94% from the free throw line on 5.3 attempts. Those are not sustainable. 25 points, obviously not. But I could see him averaging 16, 17 points on good efficiencies and some rebounds, some threes, but not a big steals guy. Not that I remember him to be. So he's obviously a sell high. If you can get him for a very consistent top 50 guy, him and another guy for top 40 guy, I think would be the move to go. I don't think he can do this all season. Play 35, and he really had it going. But Charlotte Hornets, they got a lot of young guys. PJ Washington, his minutes might be creeping up if he plays well. So I don't know. I don't know if Miles Bridges on this team, he's like the 3rd or 4th option. He obviously played really well here. Gordon Hayward not so much. 5, 10, 6 assists. I think Gordon Hayward should be a top 60 guy. But the upside for Gordon Hayward is really not there. He's not gonna have that height of a usage. He's just an efficient guy that can do a little bit of everything. Mason Plumlee, if he's out there on the waiver wire, gotta pick him up. Especially if he pounding free throws and threes. He doesn't give you anything, but everything else he does it really well. Just like he was at Detroit last year, had some good fantasy values. Kelly Oubre Jr. played 23 minutes. He's not a must roster guy. He struggled this game, had 4 personal fouls, but he's not a must roster guy. This game we have who was out this game? Shoot, I forgot. But when that guy comes back, Kelly Oubre Jr. won't be starting. LaMelo Ball, 26. Oh yeah, Terry Rozier was out. LaMelo Ball only 26 minutes. Just so weird. Why is this guy's minutes so low? Look at all the other guys playing 30 minutes. Only played 26 minutes, but get off 18 shots, 1 3, 1 block. He had 5 steals the other night, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He's gonna be a monster. But just weird that he's not getting 32, 33 minutes a game. PJ Washington can leave him on the waiver wire. And Cody Martin got 33 minutes. If he can consistently hit 30 plus minutes, he could be a good fantasy asset. But this game Terry Rozier was out. Kelly Oubre Jr. only played 23, so I don't think he's a must. You could stream him, yeah. For the Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant played really well. 38 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, steal, efficient everywhere. They couldn't stop him at all, the Charlotte Hornets, but the Nets still lost. They had a nice comeback, versus the Sixers. Otherwise, they would have been 0-3. Something's going on in Brooklyn. We don't know. Joe Harris, just Joe Harris numbers. It was a -17. Nicholas Claxton. I think we should just drop him everywhere. He has the opportunity, now that DeAndre Jordan's gone. But, he won't be playing 30 minutes just because Nets are more comfortable with Blake Griffin, going a bit small. And, 3 games so far, he hasn't really done anything. So I will leave him on the waiver wire and see what happens. Javon Carter started, because Bruce Brown started off the bench. Not interesting either guy, to be honest. Bruce Brown, though, he's got a nice fantasy guy, but Blake Griffin was out. I don't think Bruce Brown would consistently get 27 minutes. If he does, then we could pick him up because he will get you really, really nice rebound numbers as a little guard and some defensive stats. James Harden struggled again. Had 5 personal fouls, 8 turnover, and his shots are not falling and his free throw attempts are pretty low at the moment. But I wouldn't worry about Harden at all. If he struggles for a couple more games, I would buy low. Like, if PG for James Harden, I wouldn't think about it and do it. But yeah, again, just struggled here again. LaMarcus Aldridge, not really. I mean, on the Nets, really, other than KD and Harden, nobody else is a must roster. because those two guys take such high usage. You know, Patty Mills took 10 shots. That's about it. You could stream him for threes, but as we see this game, he's up and down. He played 32 minutes, only had 5 points because shot 2 for 10 from the field. Let's go to the next game. The Orlando Magic beating the Knicks. Oh man, I thought Knicks gonna win this game, but they didn't. Wendell Carter Jr. 31 minutes. That's more like it. If he can consistently average 30 plus minutes, like that's really good. 9 rebounds, still in 4 blocks. Look at that, 11 points. Good stuff from him. And Franzi Wagner, he played 38 minutes, so I don't think we can leave him on the waiver wire anymore. I understand that when injured guys are coming back, even Garrett Harris was out. How many minutes are they going to go give to Wagner? But I think they like him very much, and the fact that he played 30 minutes says a lot. So I would go grab him. If he loses minutes, because per minute wise, he's not a good fantasy guy. He's just okay. He has the ability to give you a little bit everything. 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals here is not too bad. So I will pick him up. If he loses minutes, then drop him. Mo Bamba, look at the minutes. That's really encouraging. 34 minutes. The problem with Mo Bamba is when guys come back, can he sustain that? No blocks this game, but still had 13 rebounds, 4-for-8 from the free throw line. His efficiency is going to be an issue. Like the first 2-3 games, he shot the ball really well, but that's not him. If he played 34, 35 minutes every night, you would expect him at least block 2 shots and grab you 7, 8 rebounds. That's already good enough value. Efficiency-wise, might be rough from time to time, but it will be hard to sell high after a few bad games. You could still do it. I mean, still counting set-wise, look pretty good. Cole Anthony popped off. 29 points, 16 rebounds, 8 assists. I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't think Cole Anthony is that great. If you can sell high, if somebody believe, sure. If he's out on the waiver wire, if you want to take a chance, sure. I believe they have another game today. So just pick him up, see what happens. Maybe you can ride the hot streak. Jalen Suggs, 24 minutes. With rookies, you just never know. You gotta, if you're gonna hold, you just gotta hold firm. They're gonna be very up and down. It does have some upside, but the efficiency always gonna be an issue. If you punt in field goals, sure. Terrence Ross not interested. His minutes are up and down. He played 31 minutes, but hey, not interested. He's only managed to give you some points and threes. But with everybody, all the young guards in the lineup, not interested. For the New York Knicks, RJ, another bad efficient night, 5 for 17, 12 points. I'm down to stream RJ for some, counting stats, but that's about it. Julius Randle took 24 shots. My God, he needs to chill a bit. 12 for 14. Fantasy-wise, is really great. He played 30 minutes. Is he gonna run out of gas toward the second half? I would look to trade Julius Randle a few months in. Last year he never ran out of gas. Till the last game of the regular season, he was putting up crazy counting stats: 16 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 4 blocks. A monster game from him. Really, really good. I would say sell high on Julius Randle. Right now, he's the 8th ranked player. He's more like, if we look at 9 categories, maybe top 40, 50. So I think it's a sell high. Mitchell Robinson, a double-double, that's more like it. The defensive set started coming in. Last game, he didn't have any. This game, 2 steals, 3 blocks. So good stuff from Mitchell Robinson. And 6 personal fouls. But that's fine. He played 33 minutes before that. Evan Fournier only played 25 minutes, and Kemba Walker only played 20. Evan Fournier, I think, is a sell high. If you get a chance, you got to sell high. This game doesn't help him. And Kemba is close to drop. I want to give Kemba a few more opportunities. He's still the starter. This game, Thibodeau decided to go with Derrick Rose and Alec Burks. Derrick Rose and Alec Burks, they're not much faster. I don't even think they could stream. One game they will play 20, the next game they will play 25. Right? In Derrick Rose, he had a really good game, but I wouldn't touch them. Evan Fournier, I think it's a hold because he played really, really well the first couple games. This game, not so much, but that's what Evan Fournier does. He's up and down. And Kemba, if you want to drop him, if he's a hot waiver wire out there, if you want to drop him, sure. And I don't really see Kemba being, maybe he would. He's just adjusting. But it's highly unlikely. Like Julius Randle, is the number one option by far. So, and Kemba at this age, he's gonna miss some games. If there's a really really hot, like if Mo Bamba is out there, like sure, and Kemba is your worst player, sure, for sure, drop him. But if there's nobody else on the waiver, he does have some upside. Like he could, bounce back in a few games. So I would just hold and see what happens. Maybe he just won't be that guy. He just refused to take, like, D Rose took 16 shots. He took 8. So it's more of an issue with him being passive. Like his role on this team is not established yet. So we'll see. I'll just wait for a few more games. Let's look at the next game. The Celtics beating the Rockets. Finally got their first win. Jaylen Brown was out. Jason Tatum took 24 shots. Finally had a great game. 4 threes, 9 rebounds, 31 points. A steal and a block. Good stuff. Good bounce back. Yeah, Horford. Wow, look at that. You got to pick him up. You got to pick up Al Horford. 17 points, 10 rebounds. I mean, some nights he's going to give you 5 points and 6 rebounds. But some nights he's going to give you this. Plus 18. He really, really exceeded the expectations. Right? Jaylen Brown was out, but Jaylen Brown shouldn't impact Al Horford's minutes that much. He's going to get 25 plus minutes a night. But somehow Robert Williams just didn't do anything this game. Didn't really grab any rebounds, steals or block. I mean, one steal and block is good enough, but Robert Williams is somewhat disappointing with Al Horford popping out like this. 3 steals and 3 blocks. That's scary. So he's a must roster. You got to pick him up, see what happens, and maybe a sell high. If he can play like this for a week or two, you got to sell high. I don't think season long wise, I'm not too high on Al Horford. I think if Jaylen Brown comes back, Horford might lose some minutes. Don't think he's going to consistently play 29 minutes a night. Dennis Schroeder, okay, but, Jaylen Brown was out this game. And I don't think he's a must roster, as we all know. And Marcus Smart, 5 assists, 3 steals, a 3. Marcus Smart numbers, can't complain with the 3 steals. On the Rockets side, Jason Tate, the minutes is secure, but 12 points, 8 rebounds. He does give you some offensive stats and nice field goal. I don't know if he's a must roster guy. This team, obviously, the stats look pretty good. Christian Wood struggled shooting the ball, 5 for 14, but hey, hit his free throws at least. 2010, I mean, he's gonna average close to 2010. It's how much other stuff can he give you? How many steals, blocks, and efficiency wise, field goal, because he takes many outside shots, so his field goal might be an issue. Daniel Theis, not interested. Kevin Porter Jr. played 36 minutes, again 8 turnovers and 6 personal fouls. Bad efficient. He put up pretty well stats last game, but this is more Michael Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. that we would expect. He could average 16, 17 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds with bad efficiencies and some steals and blocks. But the upside, I think, is there. As we see him do last game, he could do a bit everything. This game not so much. Celtics pretty good pretty good team. Jalen Green, look at that, 30. I would say if you can sell high on Jalen Green, he's gonna be very up and down. So this game obviously really really good, 30 points, a steal and 2 blocks. I would sell high on Jalen Green. I would. I just don't believe it. He shot 8 for 10 from the 3, right? And I don't think he gets that many assists or steals. So yeah, try to sell high on him. And rest of the Rockets, Aaron Gordon, he's washed. They gotta get this guy out of the Rockets, get him to a contender, be a three-point shooter. The next game, the Sixers beating the Oklahoma City. That was a lot closer than people expected. Consider OKC last 2 games, they were getting blown out early in the third quarter. Danny Gray, I want to say he could be a streamer for some defensive stats and threes. So far, not really. He shot the ball okay and 8 rebounds, but leave him on the waiver wire for the moment. Tobias Harris, 14 points, 9 rebounds, just efficient. The problem with him is just no defensive stats. Joel Embiid, only 22 points. He hasn't really scored like 30. I don't think he's scored over 30, but the defensive stats for Joel has been crazy, averaging over 1 steal and around 3 blocks a game. You can't complain with this stat line, But how many back-to-backs is Joel Embiid gonna play? It is the question. Per game is like top 5, top 6. Seth Curry shot the ball really well again. He's only a points and 3 streamer, and It's up and down. Tyrese Maxey, I think if Tyrese Maxey has if next game he scores 30, I'm gonna really try to sell high on him. He does provide good points and his minutes look pretty good, but I don't know, how much defensive stats is he gonna get, and also the Ben Simmons situation. Like, looks like Ben Simmons won't be back anytime soon, but if he does come back, he loses all the value pretty much. So if he pops off, score 30 points next game, I would really try hard to sell him. Matisse Thybulle only got 20 minutes, but if you want to stream him for defensive stats, that's still fine. And Andre Drummond, he was out this game. I don't think you want to hold on to him. He's going to be the guy that, hey, if Joel Embiid is out, everybody's going to pick him up and stream. But so, like, if you look at the calendar and you see 76ers have a back-to-back, maybe you could pick him up. You could stream him beforehand, but I wouldn't roster him full-time. For OKC, Lou Dort, 13 points. He's not a must roster. Oklahoma City, it's a mess. Darius Bazley, is he a must roster? He had 2 blocks this game. Give us some false hope. He's not a good fantasy guy. If you need some points and rebounds, sure, you could stream him, but everything else is negative. I mean, he's not really blocking that many shots either. And look at Josh Giddey. That's why I like this guy. If he's out there on the waiver wire, gotta grab him. He's gonna be up and down. If you want to sell high, sure. After this game, some people believe package him and another guy. He's gonna be up and down, but his game is very fantasy friendly. 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 4 steals. Good stuff from him. And Shea finally had a good one. Pretty efficient. Went to free throw line. He was aggressive. 12 times, 29 points. I mean, I was never worried about Shea. It's it's just a matter of if he can be aggressive, because he's the number 1 option. Everything goes through him on this team, so he should have his upside on this team is just pretty much unlimited. If he can bring in some defensive stats, like, he'll be good to go. Rest of the Prokopchevsky only got getting 6 minutes. I think really the 2 guys on this team is Shea and Josh Giddey. Everybody else is really, like, I don't think they're fantasy relevant at all at this moment. Even though they have a lot of young guys and opportunities, but it seems like nobody's taking advantage of them. The next game, the Golden State Warriors beating the Sacramento Kings. Andrew Wiggins is putting up very similar stats every single game. 17 points, no defensive stats, but you could still roster him. He's going to give you consistent 16, 17 points, and he plays 30 minutes a night. Draymond Green, look at that. He took 12 shots. When we drafted Draymond, we do not expect him to score over 10 points. We want him to give us some defensive stats. So far, Draymond Green has been very underwhelming, I would say. Those, like, 14 points, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You want to see more rebound, assists, steals, and blocks. That hasn't been the case. He had one game where he shot horribly from the free throw. This game 1 for 2, so that's good. So we'll see how Draymond Green fantasy line goes. Kevon Looney, 18 minutes. He's not fantasy relevant. Jordan Poole, look at that. If he got dropped, you gotta go grab him. And he's bringing the defensive stats: 3 steals and a block, 22 points. He's gonna be up and down, especially with his field goal. But you gotta grab him if he's out there on a waiver wire. And of course, on the other way, if he continues to play hot like this, also try to see if he can make it. Trade him, sell him high. Clay's gonna be back eventually, and I don't think Clay's gonna impact him that much. But he might lose a few shot attempts and lose 3-4 minutes a night. We don't know. Because Clay's going to start when Clay comes back, and Jordan Poole is going to come off the bench. Maybe Damian Lee's minutes going to get, is going to be gone. So we'll see what happens. Curry, he's not the number 1 ranked player so far, but pretty damn close. Averaging 2.3 steals also so far, 31 points, because Paul George is average 35. Paul George right now is the number 1 guy. Good stuff. I mean, he struggled shooting the 3 this game, but they got the win, so no worries there. If you got this guy after pick 5, just great value. It's the matter of can he stay healthy. For the Kings, Harrison Barnes continues shooting the ball really well. 24 points, 7 rebounds. I will again try to sell high after this game. Try to sell high. The guy mainly just give you some points and rebounds, and everything else is pretty much negative. The counting stat look pretty good from time to time. If you counting assist, it could fit your team. Yeah, Harkless played 22 minutes. I wouldn't pick him up. Rashawn Holmes, 32 minutes, 2 blocks, just so consistent every single game. Good field goal again, 11 rebounds and 2 blocks. You could just count on him to give you those stats, in and out. Tyrese Halliburton, that's why we love this guy. 8 points, that's beside the point. 3 for 9, but it's not like he's killing you. Like 6 for 20, 3 for 9. I mean, it's bad, but not that bad. 7 rebound. That's why we love this guy. Hit 2 threes, 7 rebound, 9 assists, and 2 blocks. If you got this guy on per game basis, I think top 50. That's very comfortably. De'Aaron Fox had 7 turnovers, man. 0 for 1 from the free throw line. No defensive stats. De'Aaron Fox, you got him. You got to be thinking about punting some efficiencies. And Davion Mitchell had 32 minutes. Well, Buddy Hield only had 25. Davion Mitchell, I don't think he's a must roster. He had 4 steals last game, and the fact that he played 32 minutes is really good. I don't know if he would get this minutes moving forward. But hey, it's worth a shot. Rookies, you never know. But the Kings' backcourt is kind of crowded. So I don't know. I don't know, he would get 30 minutes consistent. He obviously played really well this game. That's why he got more minutes. Buddy Hield, he's still a hold. He makes too many threes. And who knows, if Davion Mitchell plays better, Terrence Davis won't get those 12 minutes. We don't know. I'll keep an eye on him. I don't hate it if you want to pick him up. Because, him playing 30 minutes is pretty encouraging. The next game, the Grizzlies losing to the Lakers barely. Desmond Bane, pretty good. I mean, you're not going to find that many guys out there on the waiver wire, so if you want to pick him up, sure. Just know that when Dillon Brooks, so I was sell high. If you can get any value back for him, I would. Really good game here. 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 17 points, and 2 threes. Jaren Jackson Jr. struggled against the Lakers frontcourt. That's understandable. 3 for 12, 1 steal, 2 blocks. I mean, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 12 points, and 2 threes, 5 rebounds. They can't really complain too much. He had 4 personal fouls. Steven Adams, huge. I would sell high on Steven Adams. They play him 30 plus minutes every single night. 16 rebounds and 16 rebounds, 6 assists. I don't know if he can do this. His role on this team. I just have a lot of doubts on Steven Adams. But so far so good. DeAnthony Melton, the defensive that start coming in, 3 steals. Him and Desmond Bane. I mean, try to sell if you can get any value back. Do a 2 for 1 because Dillon Brooks is gonna be back, and Dillon Brooks played 30 minutes a night, so those guys are gonna lose out a lot of minutes. Ja Morant, another one, just gotta sell high. The counting stat looks really good. 40 points, 10 assists, and even hit 5 threes. But if you can get a top 20, 30 guy back for Ja Morant, I wouldn't think too much. If you can get Shea before, I mean Shea played really well, but if you can get Shea before this game, I would do it. And let's look at the Lakers. LeBron took 9 threes again. So if you drafted LeBron, he's probably gonna average 3 threes a game this year. And his field goal may not be as good as you expected. 6 rebounds, 6 assists, so good stat line. He played 40 minutes. I don't know. I worry about LeBron this. I think it's maybe a sell high. If you can get a top 30 guy, LeBron obviously very, very good name value, and he's playing such high minutes. Lakers really need him to play him high minutes to win. Yeah, AD 4 blocks, 5 for 7 from the free throw line again. Maybe this is who AD is moving forward. Just been watching his free throw. He doesn't grab too many rebounds either on this Lakers team. So I don't know if AD is can go back to his glory days. But full blocks, I mean, still overall this is a top 10 player. So good stuff. DeAndre Jordan not interested. Ken Bazemore actually getting into the action, playing 20 minutes, but guy's not consistent. You could stream him for some defensive stats, but that's about it. Russell Westbrook. That's why I wouldn't panic. He played 37 minutes. Not saying he's fitting the Lakers, because Lakers bench is a plus 19 when Russell Westbrook was a minus. The starters was play. DeAndre Jordan is horrible when he played his 14 minutes. He was a minus 15. But Russell Westbrook 7 rebounds, 13 assists. That's another thing. Don't expect LeBron to average some crazy assist numbers, because Russell Westbrook got 13 4 steals. That's good. 9 turnovers. My God. But if you're pounding those efficiencies, if you drafted Russell Westbrook, you should be already pounding turnovers for sure, and maybe for sure free throws as well. But Conley said really good stuff for Russell Westbrook. So I would say I would say he started when he was on the Wizards. He started off even worse than this. His first game was horrible. On the Wizards, also he was injured. He was in and out. But look at what he did second half of the season, right? LeBron James is not. He's gonna start missing some games, and Russ is gonna go hard if LeBron misses those games. So I think if you're pounding efficiencies, I'm pretty high on Russ rest of the season, in fantasy at least. Yep, that's it for all the games. I will see you guys later.